The Hoosiers are 8.5-point favorites against Miami in Monday's CFP National Championship game at Hard Rock Stadium. Indiana entered the season 100-1 to win the national championship. Since 2000, Indiana would be by far the biggest long shot to win the title. Josh Pate is here on First Take to discuss Monday's national championship game. Josh, you heard the spread, 8.5 points. Do you think Miami has a chance to win against Indiana on Monday?
Yes. Does it scare me? Yeah. Do I think the spread is right? Yeah. If I ran old Pate State Sportsbook over here or something, I'd probably have to put that kind of line out. I do think they have a chance. All right. So if we go back to the Oregon game, we go back to the Alabama game, utter domination, the dam broke early. If I'm looking at Miami, if I'm trying to make the case, and I've been efforting it, clenched fist all week, I'm thinking to myself, they possess a two-way ability on the line of scrimmage to do things to Indiana, or at the very least present problems to Indiana that maybe they didn't see in those games. So maybe that gives me a chance to get this game into the second quarter. Maybe it looks a lot more like the Indiana-Ohio State game, where Hoosiers won, but it's a three-point game. It's low scoring. It's 13-10 final. That's Miami's game. That's just dragging it out into the swamp, dragging it out into the mud, and win the game in the fourth quarter where Mark Fletcher falls forward enough times. Carson Beck probably doesn't throw for 200 yards, but he didn't against Ohio State either. But he does enough to where Indiana executes. I'm not counting on them shooting themselves in the foot. I've stopped thinking that's ever going to happen. But they're at 39,000 feet just cruising. Do I think Miami can just get to 40,000 feet for four quarters? I think their best is good enough. I'm riding a hunch I'm going to get it Monday night. So that's my case for them.
Shae?
My case is simple. Prayer. It's that simple. When I look at Indiana right now, I mean, I'm going to pray. Listen, man, listen, it's our game. I think these college football playoffs have been fantastic, but Indiana is just ruining everything. They're taking all the suspense out of it. I mean, to destroy Alabama the way that they did was bad enough. But then to take Dan Lanning's team, to take Dante Moore stock as the number 2 overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft, and just reduce that to rubble, just nonsense, because you're looking at it and you're saying, my God, it's just levels to this, and Indiana is on a different level. I'm scared because I'm thinking about Miami, Josh and Dan, and I'm thinking about the 10 penalties for 74 yards. I'm thinking about the sloppiness at integral parts of the game. I'm thinking about how they overcame it. But are you going to be able to do that against an Indiana Hoosiers squad that is just so ready, that's got an average age of about 23, if I remember correctly? So the development part about them seems to be more advanced than others. And then you look at a guy like Malachi Tony. What is he, 18 years old? I believe that's the case. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh. I mean, he's arguably their best player. And I'm just looking at it from that standpoint, and I'm like, how the hell is Miami going to pull this off? I'm imagining Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin on the sidelines being motivational, keeping those cats focused, doing everything that you got to do. But it's going to take Miami playing a near perfect game in order for them to beat the Indiana squad that I've been watching over the last couple of playoff games. And I just hope that they can. I'm hoping beyond hope, and I'm praying that they can do it, because you're on your own home turf in Miami. Everybody's going to be there. We're looking forward to this. And the last thing we want to see is a blowout. But that's what I'm worried about. I'm very worried about it.
Yeah, I don't see the blowout. I think Miami can win this football game. I think there's three things that have to happen. Number one, you have to play an incredibly clean football game. Oftentimes, and I don't know how, I think Pate would know this, there's like 5 or 6 games this year alone where Indiana has scored the first series of the game on defense. Yes. So teams come out and just shoot themselves in the foot. Obviously, it happened in the Oregon game. So, like, there has to be this hyper-focus from Miami of just not giving things to Indiana. You got to make them earn it. And that falls on Carson Beck to start, okay? So, like, that's step number one. Step number two is this, and no matter how much we want to talk about the ins and outs of the game, we have watched this Miami offensive line be physical. That game shouldn't have been as close as it was against Ole Miss. And so can they just physically control Indiana's defensive line? It's a challenge, but I think that they're capable of doing it. And so if they do that, and the wear on Indiana's defense, also the control of the game that allows. So I think that's a really big conversation. They are capable of doing it. The third part is this, and I think this is probably the biggest question mark for me, is can their back end, Miami's, just hold up in the pass game from a size perspective? Surratt is 6'2", probably and a half. Charlie Becker, 6'4". Cooper's over 6 feet, and so this is a talented secondary, but I think there's moments when you just don't physically match up with some of those one-on-one balls down the field. If they can do that, they're going to give themselves a chance to win this game in the fourth quarter.
Obviously, I'm rooting for my Hoosiers, but if Miami wants a chance, I'd also lean on experience a little bit here. Carson Beck has been on this big stage multiple times, obviously with Georgia, also now with Miami. Miami, yes, older, right? Average age is 23, but not a ton of big moment experience like they're going to see, obviously, in the national championship game. Give you final word here, Josh. What do you think?
Well, so a couple of things. What Dan said about the size disparity in the defensive backfield for Indiana. Well, you've got that edge Miami up front. You average 330 on your offensive line. They're about 270, 280 D line. But that doesn't matter if you're playing catch up in the fourth quarter.
Sure.
Second thing, for the disadvantage you may have in your secondary, one of the things you got to do is when they put the ball in your hands, you got to catch the ball. There were a couple of 10-point swings that Miami let fall to the ground against Ole Miss. You're right. Like, that was a blowout game masquerading as a four-quarter classic because they didn't take advantage of opportunities. Normally, you pay the price with a loss if you don't execute like that. I'm hoping they clean that out, and I'm hoping that they play more like Ohio State, which I thought was about as efficient as Miami's played all year.
Really quick, both Stephen A. and Josh agree with the 8.5-point spread. Do you?
I feel it's rich for me. I think Indiana's the better football team. I think they win the game. I've picked Indiana from the jump, but that feels like a domination. I think Miami's too good up front on both sides of the line to allow that to happen.
Okay.
You want this, you got that.